What is going on, guys? Predator458 here, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to World of Warships, where we're going to be taking a look at a viewer replay submitted by Soal, who we've seen a few times before. Today he's running around, what's this one? This one is straight, I think, in his tier 5 Japanese destroyer, the Minekaze. Now, as I've mentioned in some of the other videos recently, by the time you watch this, I'm going to be away from home, down in Durban with my family over the Christmas New Year period, so these videos are all being rendered and uploaded before I leave. First target here at 12.5, it's an Omaha. So I'm leaving, I left on Monday, it's currently Saturday, so I got a little bit of time to finish up the stuff before I leave. But anyways, watched the new Star Wars last night, Friday. We actually, funnily enough, we got it a bit early here in South Africa. Here's a Karlsruhe and an Arkansas beta as well. It actually released 2 days before the international release date here, for some reason. And we went and watched it at our nearest IMAX. A little bit disappointed with the movie, actually. It's still a good movie. Far better than anything the prequels had, but a little bit disappointed, but I'm not going to get into that. I don't want to spoil it for anyone. Minekaze here, so he's going to launch some torpedoes. He's locked onto the Karlsruhe. Is reversing, takes some damage from the Omaha, but the good news is he has managed to going to put some fish in the water towards the cruiser, and I mean the destroyer's there as well, so maybe we'll get lucky, depending on how that guy maneuvers. And unfortunately, because there are enemy ships in the cap zone, as soon as he leaves it, they start to capture. A lot of his team seem to be hanging back right now, and very nearly gets a hit on the Minekaze. Murmansk has put torpedoes in the water towards the Omaha, I think. And he's just building some space now, just trying to get back and reassess the situation. But yeah, it's just got these guys who are kind of moving towards B rather than trying to help secure A, which is nothing wrong with that. Now the enemy has successfully captured A. When Soal sent in this replay, I actually said something along the lines of he's just getting a lot of really lucky games in his destroyers recently, even though he's not terribly good at them, but he's just been, things have been working in his favor. Murmansk is exchanging shots with the Omaha. There's the Minekaze again. Karlsruhe still around. These teammates who, again, are not quite pushing in, but they are putting fire down onto this German cruiser. Omaha, 8.5 kilometers, looks like he's going the other way around the island. Arkansas beta at 11, so out of torpedo range, but he is coming towards us, putting some torpedoes in the water, just in case that Omaha decides to start moving forward and try and peek around, staying outside of detection range, which I believe for the Minekaze is the low to mid 6 range, and then of course you've got a 7-kilometer range on the torpedoes. Running into the map border here briefly as he just tries to turn it around, and now the Omaha is starting to move forward, and this was so very nearly an epic hit. And I would have been cursing if that had happened, because I mean, he predicted that perfectly, no doubt using some form of crystal ball hack, because yeah, that Omaha did exactly what he thought it was going to do, exactly when he thought it was going to do it. Just unfortunately he needed like 5 meters more range on his torpedoes, and he would have had a hit there and a kill because it was on rather low health. But now he's going to start using his guns. 4,100 hit points to get through. Couple of hits, some damage. just hoping for fire torpedoes in the water from an ally. Thankfully, they're not going to be an issue. Omaha is able to dodge the torpedoes, no real problems there, and it goes down. Soal narrowly missing a return shot there, which probably would have hit the very end of his ship, very back, so there would have been a fair chance for rudder or engine damage. Things are not going terribly well for his team. They're not going awfully, but I mean, his team has lost a battleship and a cruiser, while the enemy team has lost a destroyer and a cruiser, giving the enemy team a 130-point lead. But they are finally capturing B. Alright, so he has moved back into A to start capturing it. He's got the Karlsruhe and the Arkansas Beta in front of him. He has been detected by a spotting plane, which is unfortunate. His team did capture B. They're now losing it. They've lost more ships now, 2 battleships and 2 cruisers, while the enemy team is 2 cruisers and a destroyer, so they've got a fairly significant lead. But there's still a long way to go in this match, so anything could happen. Just as I said, swapping capture points, that Emperor Nikolai, or Imperator Nikolai, is capturing B, so hopefully they just the cruisers can just keep putting shots into him and keep resetting the cap, which is exactly what they're doing at the moment. Arkansas Beta is very nearly within torpedo range. Karlsruhe, another one there, so there's now 2 cruisers in the area. We are within 7 kilometers. We're going to start firing our torpedoes and trying to make sure we don't accidentally stray to within detection range. But the Arkansas Beta is a very slow ship, so we'll have no problems with very quickly building that distance back up. His team has now kind of regrouped around C and are capturing that, so that'll be very helpful to them. The Imperator Nikolai has left the cap zone, and here come the torpedoes. They're looking good. He looks 3 hits, does a very good amount of damage, causes flooding twice, but this guy will no doubt use his damage control team to stop the flooding, and indeed he has. But he's down to less than 3,000 hit points. So a nice little torpedo strike there. He's now unfortunately gone behind this island. It looks like he's slowing down and stopping. But he is using his repair party to build up his hit points again. Just waiting to see if we're going to get a shot. It looks like he is reversing out of cover. Karlsruhe is at 8 kilometers. Outside of torpedo range, unfortunately. The Arkansas is going to probably be a little bit difficult to torpedo because he's probably going to be backing up and then driving forward back into cover and then rinsing and repeating. At least that's what he should be doing. Firing a single spread of torpedoes, you never know. Just really use some more cruiser support here to help deal with these Karlsruhes, because they are really making Soal's life a lot more difficult than he needs to be. He has to be very, very careful, because if he gets detected, it could be over very, very quickly. And it looks like that battleship has turned and started reversing straight back, so unlikely he'll get any torpedo hits. And there they go, they run out of steam. He is now moving forward again, so Soal fires all 3 torpedo tubes in his direction, in and around the recommended aiming point marker. But what is this guy going to do? He's going to sail in a straight line, he's going to turn. He has now been detected. He is within the spotting range of this Arkansas Beta. And yeah, he just sails in a straight line, straight out of cover from an island like that, despite knowing full well that there was a destroyer in the area. And he gets punished with another torpedo hit, and that is enough to finish him off. Detected again by fighter group, it looks like. And I think Now going to move in towards the Karlsruhe and try and recapture B. Right, so there was a fair amount of time has passed just while he moved into A, recaptured it, and now he's found an Omaha at 11.5 kilometers. His team has managed to pull back and is in the lead on points and has one more ship than the enemy. The enemy, or no, they're equal on ships, sorry. Enemy team, 2 carriers, 2 battleships and a cruiser. Soal's team, 2 aircraft carriers, 2 cruisers and a destroyer. And I think the closing stages of this match is where it really starts getting really good, because obviously I've seen the post-game screens, and well, let's just say there's a fair number of kills still to come, as well as torpedo hits. So he's fired a spread at this Omaha, all 3 of his tubes, staggered them around, try and maximize the chance of getting hit, but there are some very big gaps in that wall of torpedoes, so if the Omaha is paying attention, he should be able to miss them quite easily. But he takes 1 and gets his steering knocked out, and of course he is flooding. Fighter planes are briefly spotting him, and he's now detected again. And I don't think Soal has quite noticed, but if you look at the minimap, in front of him are 2 enemy aircraft carriers. He may have already noticed, he's just deciding he wants to try and deal with this Omaha before he goes carrier hunting. And there it is, there's the Langley. So he's going to start moving towards it. The enemy team, I think, were capturing C. They've now stopped. Soal's team has lost one of their carriers, and the enemy team lost one of their battleships, so still 4v4. Just putting some shots in with his guns as he moves towards secondaries. Take out his engine, either that or the Omaha. He gets a torpedo hit and he finishes off said Omaha, who was not really the best at evading torpedoes, it seems. Fires 2 spreads of torpedoes, and yeah, those are going to find their mark, no question about it. 2, 3, gets a devastating strike, and that's his 3rd kill of the match. But now he's got torpedo planes, who are no doubt going to try and get a torpedo run. Thankfully, fairly easy to dodge in a destroyer. But now he's got another carrier to deal with. There's the torpedo warning, and no problem at all to dodge those ones. Are these other planes going to try and make a run, or are they just going to keep flying around? Waiting to see. He has fired a spread at the Langley, but it is head on. And there come the torpedoes, and again, absolutely no problem to try and dodge those. Langley takes one on the nose. I thought he would have had a fairly decent chance to dodge all of those, just slipping between the gap. But he was unable to, and now, less than 2 kilometers away, he fires another 2 spreads, and that is going to be the end of the Langley. Another 3 hits, high caliber, another devastating strike, 4th kill of the match. And now all that's left on the enemy team is the battleship. So it was indeed a victory for his team. I think the last remaining cruiser on his team managed to finish off that battleship before Soal was even able to get to the B point to capture that and ensure victory. But anyways, a really good match. It really kicked off in the final parts of it, but he also did a fantastic job of avoiding enemy fire and that sort of thing. He earned himself 411,600 credits, 5,700 reputation, devastating strike times 2, and I believe it was high caliber. He got 11 target hits with his guns, 13 torpedo hits, 3 incapacitations, 4 kills, caused flooding 11 times and captured a base 3 times, and completed the mission Night Brawl. He came first place on his team with a base XP of 2,500 points. Omaha on 1,600 was second place. The last remaining battleship on the enemy team was that Congo of Storm U, and he ended with base XP of 790. As for damage done, 5,280 damage from his armor-piercing hits, high explosive hits, 3,000, call it 4,000 damage from flooding, and nearest makes no difference, 110,000 damage from his torpedo hit. So, Soal IJN, good game. I enjoyed watching it. Thank you very much for sending it in, and I hope you guys enjoyed seeing him go to work on the enemy team as well. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to hit the thumbs up button down below and consider subscribing for more World of Warships, as well as Armored Warfare and a few other things that are thrown into the mix from time to time. But yeah, that's it from me. Thank you very much for stopping by. This is Predator 458 signing off, and I will see you guys next time.